Adele in the streets. You see me? But yeah, I was gonna wear this to Carney, but then it got cancelled, so it's a bit mad. But yeah, is this cultural appropriation? Am I allowed to wear this? The correct answer is yes. I am allowed to wear this, and no, it's not cultural appropriation. Deal with it.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, smash the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the share. Let's get started. There are 4 things that I'll be going through. First, what is Notting Hill Carnival? Second, what is cultural appropriation? Third, what is cultural appreciation? And fourth, my opinion on Adele and the now infamous Carnival picture. So first and foremost, what is Notting Hill Carnival? Carney, what is it? How is it? And all that good stuff. I'll insert some images now. So Notting Hill Carnival happens every year except this year because of the Rona. It attracts over 1 million people every single year. It has been running for what feels like forever, but I believe it's 5 decades strong and it will continue to thrive. It is second only in the world to Rio Carnival, the biggest carnival in Europe. I think it might even be the biggest outdoor event in Europe, but I don't want to gas us up too much, but I'm pretty sure we hold that title. So it has a lot of attention. It is one of the most anticipated events of the global calendar. So yeah, it's a big thing. If you didn't know, now you know. It's huge. It is definitely a staple weekend in the British calendar, especially if you're a Londoner. Now, where did it start? How did it start? And I think this is very, very important for this debate in terms of Adele and what she was wearing. It started as a result of the very tragic, racially motivated murder of 32-year-old Kelso Coltrane. I really apologise if I have mispronounced his name. He was an Antiguan carpenter aspiring lawyer, and his murder took place May 17th, 1959 in Notting Hill, and if you go there, there is still a blue plaque to honour and remember him. And for those who are outside of the UK, I've seen my analytics. I know some of you are from America. I see you, I appreciate you. So for you, those who don't know, a blue plaque in the UK is basically put up at a residence or a location where someone famous or someone who has played a huge role in the British society in whatever way, we put there and remembered. If you're ever in London or in the UK and you're walking around and you suddenly start seeing blue plaques on walls, that is why. So he was tragically murdered. As a result, a funeral was held and it had over 1,200 people attend. Now, given the times and the historical clashes between races in the UK, the then Home Secretary Robert Butler asked and called for witnesses when he was in Westminster, and he was calling for any witnesses to this murder to try and ease racial tensions. And that then led to many sort of small events being held to sort of ease tensions, to try and break down those barriers between the races and try and get more and more people to speak with each other. As a result, Rawn Laslet, and again I apologise if I mispronounced that, a local person and an activist, decided to organise a children's community fair. I will include her quote because I think it really hones in on the purpose of Carnival and what it has led to.
We felt that although West Indians, Africans, Irish and many other nationalities all live in a very congested area, there is very little communication between us. If we can infect them with a desire to participate, then this can only have good results.
That one small fair led to what we now have. It led to Carnival, it led to the 1 million people coming every year. So the purpose of Carnival is literally a celebration of the West Indies, of the different cultures. It is breaking down those barriers between the races. It is getting people talking, it is getting people celebrating, it is getting people smiling, dancing, singing, all of that. We will now go on to my second point, cultural appropriation. So it's basically the unacknowledged or inappropriate adoption of certain elements of someone else's culture. It could be hairstyles, it could be clothes, it could be traditions, and normally being done by the group with more power. My personal opinion is I think that there needs to be a monetary element to cultural appropriation. For example, one person wearing, let's say, a dashiki, because I remember there was a time when that was really popular and I feel like everyone and their son was wearing one, as in people who weren't even from that area were wearing them. So let's say dashikis, there's one person's wearing a dashiki and then you've got another person who sets up a business and isn't saying where it came from. They're like,
oh, I just came up with this grand idea and yeah, this is now a thing and I'm gonna call it a bashiki because you know it's not that. It's not a dashiki. No, it's not that. This is my original idea.
When you know damn well that they've just stolen that idea and they're now passing off as their own. To me, that falls under cultural appropriation more. And the reason is I feel like there is some monetary element. You are literally profiting from another culture without acknowledging it, without sort of paying homage to where it's come from. And I think it's also very important to note that it is not just white people that can appropriate, okay? Anyone can culturally appropriate. Beyonce, as much as I love Beyonce, no one has forgotten Beyonce. I still remember you were wearing traditional Indian wear in a video when, as far as I'm aware, you are not Indian. So anyone can appropriate another culture. Let's not get it twisted. It's also important to note that cultural appropriation will impact people differently. For example, one with me that I'm a little bit more laissez-faire with, and that has to be hair. For me, on the whole, wear your style how you want to wear. For example, right now I've got my cane rows. Do not judge because these are old and I will be getting them done today when I wash my hair. And if you want to wear them, do you. I don't care, because when I'm in Jamaica and I'm on holiday and I'm on them beaches, I'm seeing all races, all colours wearing them. However, doesn't mean that I don't still get offended when I see certain things to do with hair. So for example, there was someone I knew who had braids, like just normal braids, and they had the audacity to put hashtag Rasta, hashtag Rastafarian with a weed joint. I'm like, first and foremost, check yourself, yeah? Check yourself, okay? This is not Rasta, this is not Rastafarian. This is just disrespect, okay? This is just disrespect is what it is, first and foremost. Secondly, why is there a weed smoke? You know, it wasn't even weed, it was cigarettes. But I was like, why is that involved in this caption? That's another one. It was too much. And then when one of my friends called her out on it and was like, yo, not cool, promptly blocked and deleted. That's what happened to my friend. So that sort of action, yeah, no, not cool at all. Stop it. So now we're going to move on to cultural appreciation. Now this to me is where you've taken the time to learn, you've taken the time to understand the cultures, the norms, the traditions, all of it. You're learning more than taking. And when you sort of learn, now I'm not saying that that means you can't go out and wear or do what you want to do, because I think it's a free world and I think it's beautiful when cultures share. But I think as long as you're paying homage or you're sort of acknowledging where it's from, then that just shows that you've taken the time to learn. And I personally feel like that falls under appreciation and not appropriation. And I feel like it is a blurry line, and like I've already said, you can't tell just from looking at someone what they have and have not learned and studied. I'm going to include some memes because some of these were hilarious. Because I saw one which was like, you're not Spanish, so you shouldn't speak Spanish. And it was like, no, that's Spanish for no. Which cracked me up because it reminded me of like, where do we draw the line between appreciation and appropriation? If someone is learning and taking the time, boo boo, I'm sorry to break it to you, but that is not appropriation, okay? You can't be appropriated by someone trying to learn from you. That's not how that works. Okay, if they're taking from you, let's start the debate. But if they're just trying to learn, like genuinely learn, how can we try and stop someone from doing that? That doesn't make sense. So finally, we move on to the last point. Adele. Is it cultural appropriation? In my opinion, N-O spells no. Now, I have issues with this picture, don't get me wrong. Stylistically, it's a bit much. I feel like whoever took that picture did her dirty, but we also need context. And this is a big thing when people try and cancel people. And I've made a video about cancel culture and why I think it's trash, but this is an issue. People will try and cancel people without context. Adele grew up in Tottenham, in London, one of the blackest, if not the blackest areas in London. She also lived in Brixton. Again, that is like, for me, the home of J.A. in London, okay? Like, we need to appreciate that she has grown up in this culture with people from the culture. So, A, she'll have a sense of appreciation there. Is she profiting from it? No, she's at Carney. But she's not even at Carney because it's cancelled. But she's at the alternative version of it. So it's not, she's not benefiting from it. She's not getting money from it. She's not exactly posting up in her music videos in it. So it's completely different. She's literally wearing it for an event. What's the event? Carnival. What's Carnival? As I've already said, it is the appreciation, celebration, the sharing of West Indies, of the different cultures. Where's Jamaica? West Indies. So that is one of the countries that is always being celebrated, flags high, everything at Carnival, okay? So all of this is adding up to a no. And there was another thing that I saw, which was a meme, which I'll include now. And as you can see, it is saying that the group affected is celebrating the fact that they're getting recognition, celebrating the fact that they're being celebrated. And then a group that's like not impacted at all is like,
that's racist. Oh my god, cancel culture, cancel culture, cancel culture.
and it's like, but no. Now the way I see it, as I've said in many other videos, I do not think that only those affected can speak on an issue, because if that happens, we're shutting voices down, we're shutting opinions down. However, you do need to appreciate that your voice will weigh way less than those affected. Yes, you can speak up, anyone can speak up, but let's not try and overpower the voice of the people who are actually impacted, because when we overpower, we're not learning, we're not growing, it's brainwashing, okay? We're not brainwashing the world to have one idea of what is and isn't racist, because there isn't one gatekeeper for what is and isn't racist. We need to listen to everyone, especially those impacted. And in this particular situation with Adele, it was Jamaicans with the flags and the hair, and also Africans, again with the hair, because there's a bit of a debate on whether it was Bantu knots or not. So it's those two nations, and on the whole, they were in support of Adele. So yes, you can have your opinions, but like I said, do not overpower those who hold the most weight. Now me personally, my Jamaican half was living, I was like,
go on, Adele. Turn up, show them.
So like I said, when it comes to culture appropriation, and if someone is culture appropriating, it is very key to know the origins of that person and also their background. Where did they grow up? Who do they know? What was the influences on them? Because I've seen many people try and come for other people for appropriation, and they just kind of got slapped back down. People need to do their research before just automatically jumping on a bandwagon that they don't know anything about. And in this case, the bandwagon was Carney. People were jumping on it without really understanding and appreciating what it was and what it spoke about. And Adele, they didn't really appreciate where she grew up, where she was from, and the opinions of those who were impacted were almost like they were trying to be silenced by those who had less to do with the situation. Calm down, take a step back, and then approach with a clear head, okay? Because in my opinion, Adele was not cultural appropriation. I was living not for the picture, because stylistically, like I said, it was a bit mad. But on the whole, I was living, live your best life, Adele, with your good body, and keep repping. That's all I'm gonna say. So as that brings me to the end, let me know in the comments, do you think it was cultural appropriation? Do you think we're too quick now to label cultural appropriation and look at things through one lens rather than all the different lenses that are needed to take the picture? Let me know down below. As always, hit the subscribe, the like and the share. And as always, have a blessed day. And until next time, goodbye everyone.